So in your senior year of high school, you're probably wondering where you want to go, what you want to do. You're a little bit confused. You're definitely a little bit scared, although you'll try to hide it. But the question then lies, why the College of Arts and Sciences here at Penn?
My plan definitely changed many, many times.
I thought I wanted to be a psych major.
I applied to college as an English major,
I had a lot of family pressures to become a doctor when I became an adult.
and then the summer before I started Penn, I decided I wanted to do pre-med.
I thought that to be pre-med you needed to be a science major, but then I was also really interested in community health. I liked health and societies, but that wasn't a science major.
And after trying a few of the classes, that still didn't feel right.
I thought maybe I could do econ,
It's a communications major,
Sociology.
history.
something law-based.
I decided to take a film and video class here. It was probably one of the best things that happened to me.
And then I went to urban studies, really that perfect fit for me.
I ultimately ended up to psychology and Asian American studies.
And I ended up choosing BBB and minoring in nutrition to sort of combine the two and made it my own.
The opportunities allotted to any major or any field of study here at Penn are infinite. You can be majoring in English, or you could be majoring in mathematics, and if you're majoring in math, go off to be a great writer. If you're majoring in English, you can go off into finance. There's really no specific correlation as to what you have to do, and I thought that flexibility and all those opportunities were something that I had to have. There was no way around that. You get to take all these cool courses in different subject fields, different areas that you would have never really thought about. Coming here as a freshman at Penn, I was just blindsided, I guess. The opportunities were crazy, but for me, the real important thing about studying language is the cultural aspect of it. In religious studies, it's not about a faith-based approach. It's an academic approach to studying religion. In studying biblical Hebrew and ancient Greek and Egyptian hieroglyphs, we see different stories come to life in different ways. You see through the lens of the people that wrote it. It just...
To someone who doesn't know what they want to do at Penn yet, I would probably say the first thing is don't be afraid to explore. Those first 2 years at Penn are really about that, about finding your way and taking different courses and figuring out what works for you and what doesn't. But the second thing that I would say is ask for help. Be willing to reach out to different people. If you have a vision for your life and you don't know how to kind of realize it, I think one of the most helpful things is having an alumni network and having all these resources on Penn's campus that will allow you to kind of see in the future and talk to people who've done the things that you want to eventually do. And I think that kind of helps you focus on the things that you should be doing.
Having a professor there that'll help walk you through these different aspects in your research and help you understand what it is exactly that you really want to do is something that's, I think, invaluable.
I study sleep, and then I took a class on sleep. And it was really cool to see the intersection of the things that I was reading about in my textbook and from a professor who is the top of his field, and then be able to apply those bits and pieces to my various experiments and understand, oh, that's the pathway. I remember talking about that last week in class. And that was a really cool way for me to not only become excited about the course material, but also become more excited about my research. You can find ways to apply everything you're doing in the college to your everyday life. The college gives you such incredible life skills that while it may not be immediately obvious how these skills or these pieces of knowledge might apply to your life, they will. And you'll see that, and it'll be a light bulb moment. The light bulb will go off in your head, and you'll just think to yourself, wow, I remember learning this, and I'm using it in my real life right now.
To now, everyone's been very accommodating of the fact that I like different things, and my interests are sometimes, they don't always make sense. But in the frame of things, when you look back at the path that I've walked, a lot of it is very purposeful, and it's given me an understanding of people and of governments and of institutions and of how different governments relate to each other. And I think those are things that are important for my development. I want my life to matter. I want my life to be useful. And so that also means giving back to the community in a way that goes beyond myself, because if there's anything my dad always told me growing up, it's that it's no use being successful as an individual if that success isn't going to carry somebody else along. So I'm all about trying to figure out ways in which we can make whatever it is I do impact other people. To do is really be involved in policy and be involved in bringing about the kind of structural changes that I think are necessary when people are making decisions about how to interact with the African continent, how to make policies for the African continent, how to allocate funding for the African continent. So I want to be involved in those processes.